Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner, unless that is you're an existing Kaspa miner. We're going to talk about it, but first, let's spin that intro. Alright, so IceRiver has recently dumped a whole bunch of these K0 Pros back out into the wild, and of course these only cost about $429, but with them being such a mass dump out into it, I guarantee the hash rate's going to be climbing. We're going to go do some deep diving. We're going to check all these numbers and see exactly if these things are worth it anymore or not. But before we do that, let's go ahead and have a word from our sponsor. Let's go.
You know quantum computers, you know blockchain, but do you know both together? Dynex was the first platform to create a neuromorphic supercomputing blockchain-based algorithm which solves real-world problems. And the best part? Anyone can post a job, whether a company from the Global 2000, a machine learning job, or fintech and pharmaceutical. And if you don't want to program it yourself, get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.
And we're back. So yeah, this is the IceRiver Ks0 Pro Edition 200 gigahash stock model. But of course, we know these things can be pushed well over 300 gigahash now, especially with the new T-Swift software and, of course, custom cooling, different power supplies, etc., etc. They had a batch of these, and I ordered this probably a month and a half ago. Finally just got it. It was slated to arrive between January 15th and the 30th, and I know there were a ton of these sent out. So that being said, what's that going to do for Kaspa overall? Of course, that's going to bring the network hash rate continue to climb, which it has went exponential ever since it hit ASICs. Ever since IceRiver first introduced the first ASIC, it was on the GPUs, it went to the ASICs, and then it expanded to the other ASICs, and now we're at this exponential hash rate climb. And of course, as the climb goes up, then the profits go down because less is getting mined per user. And then of course there's a direct price correlation. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go and we're going to check out the hash rate currently. We're going to see what the hash rate was. We're going to see how fast it's climbing. We're going to check the current profitability on these things. And we're going to tell you, of course, should you buy these now this late in the game? Should you buy a K0 Pro, a K0? Should you buy some of the better models, the KS2, KS3? That's a lot of money to invest when the returns are not quite there like they used to be. So yeah, let's go ahead and deep dive that. Let's hop over onto our computer and let's check some nerdy numbers. Let's go. All right, so here we are. This is the two miners dashboard where you can check a lot of the network hash rates, and it's showing Kaspa's network hash rate. And right here is it's showing as of today 150.61, but I don't think that's necessarily accurate. It's probably more around the 160. But I guarantee that we're going to keep climbing as all of these that are being sent out right now are coming up online. Let's just take a look, a deeper look at this. Let's pull way back. Let's go for an all-time view. And you can see this coin actually hasn't been around all that long. So we're only measuring clear back around April of 2023. And then it's just GPU mining, 1 petahash, GPU mining. And then August 23, we start to jump up dramatically. At the end of July, and then August, it starts to jump up, just a little blip, right? We're starting to move up. This is where IceRiver first brings out their K0s. And a lot of people didn't think they were real. They weren't a big company. They tried to send them out to Red Panda. Red Panda even made tweets about these aren't going to be real, most likely, and to be cautious with your money. But they were real, and this is where the climb started. And then they're climbing. Other ASICs start coming online, other companies. So then you've got some of the bigger ASIC companies start making Kaspa ASICs, and then different models start coming in. You got KS2s, KS3s, and man, look at this climb from November at 62 petahash in November, clear up to 150, 160 nearly now. So 100 petahash in 3 months, 2 months, November, December, January, in 2 full months, we've climbed 100 petahash. That also tells me that Bitmain is just crushing with these big ASICs as well, and a lot of these bigger ASICs, and a lot of farms are probably putting these on there. But look at this hash rate. So now that they've just sent out another batch, sure, these are smaller miners, they're only doing 200 gigahash, and on the grander scale, that's nothing compared to this 150 petahash. But how many of these are being sent out? A lot are coming out. So let's go and look at the current rate. So you can see up here in the top, it's showing that 10 cents is the current per Kaspa rate. So let's look at first the K0 Pro, see what it currently makes stock, and then we'll do a little bit of numbers with it as overclocked, and we'll talk about how the overclock and all that. And yeah, let's look at what it's actually making per day profit, so that we can kind of figure out how long it would take to ROI these things right now. So let's look at the IceRiver site first. All right, so here we are over on the IceRiver site, and we're going to our Kaspa miners, and what can you actually buy on here? You can buy the KS3M, which does 6 terahash at 3,400 watts. You can buy the K0 Pro, 200 gigahash, 100 watts for $429. Then everything else is sold out. The KS1, KS2, KS3M, and the KS3 are all sold out. So what's it? The KS3M is sold out here. Why does it show? Oh, you can only buy the hosting model, right? Sold out. Yeah, so that's what that is. That you can buy the hosted model, which means you're buying it and they're keeping it, and you're getting the hash rate. Which if I'm buying the hardware, I want my hardware, but that's just me. So back to the K0 Pro. So the next batch on these things, it's still showing a shipping date of January 15th through January 31st, but that couldn't be right unless they still actually have some that haven't went out, and that you buy it and then it's going to be direct shipped, which would be pretty awesome to at least get them that quick, because usually you're talking 6-week plus turnaround. But your K0 Pro is going to run you $429, and then of course if you get the included power supply, you're not going to overclock it, would be an additional $20. You can pay with crypto, and then it's that's the total price without any, you don't pay extra shipping or anything. And if you're in the United States, you're buying direct from IceRiver, you're also not paying the customs because it's under $600. So that's a good plus on that. So these things do 200 gigahash stock, 100 watts of power. So now let's see what that would actually equate to on how long you would take to pay off this initial investment here. All right, so this is Hashrate.no. I'm going to run the K0 Pro, and I've just refreshed for the current rates. So using 100 watts of power, these are currently making a profit of $1.40 after your electricity, and that's based on the 10-cent electricity cost per kilowatt hour, which a lot of people pay way above that. But this is just for a baseline, and let's see what that would equate to in an ROI if everything stayed constant as it is today. All right, so just real quick, I just made a quick spreadsheet. I put in our total cost of the K0 Pro, $429, plus the PSU, $449 total, and then how much it's currently making per day. That's $1.41, and that's after your electricity, so that's profit per day, and that's at, again, 10-cent kilowatt hour. And then, so our ROI on this hardware would be 320 days and 0.64, so 120 and a half days to pay off if all things stayed exactly like they are now. But that would also mean that the hash rate couldn't keep climbing, or if it did keep climbing, that price per Kaspa would also have to climb in order for that ROI to stay, or the hash rate would have to drop and the token or the actual coin price would have to rise. What's most likely to happen is that this network in hash rate is going to continue to increase, and until the bull run hits, the price per coin is going to stay as it has for quite some time. Let's look at the price per coin on the chart and see how it's actually performing, and then we can kind of compare it to the hash rate growth to see that, is this a good investment? Is this a good idea to buy these now, or should you just hold? All right, so we're over on Coinmarketcap, so we can see the actual price action of Kaspa, where it stands, where it's been, and where it is heading. So let's just move me out of the way on this, and then we're going to move the chart more on the screen. There is where we stand currently. So this is 1 day action. Let's go back, pull it back to 7 days. And we're going to actually pull it way back. Let's pull it back to 1 year and see where the price action has came from and where it's going. So back a year ago, we were at about 7 cents roughly. And then it has stayed. And then all of a sudden we get the boom in November. And it jumps clear up to around 13, 14 cents. And since then, it came back down. Market pulled back down. The hash rate has continued. More devices are on. More people mining. So the price actually pulled back down to where it should be. And then since then, it has been fairly consistently hanging on to right through there. In my opinion, unless the market goes up, because everything goes up with the entire market, Bitcoin and everything needs to go up. I think we're at a normalized price at a 10 or 11 cents for Kaspa. Until the entire market starts to pull up, I don't see that going anywhere. I don't see it going up. I don't see it dropping. I see it just continuing to perform as it is until the entire market goes up or down. So what does that mean? If the price action is staying the same, the network hash rate is increasing, then you're making less per hash rate. So then that brings me to the ROI. Will this device ROI in 320 days? Well, if the price action stays the same and the hash rate continues to climb, then so is your ROI, your days of ROI, because you're going to be making less Kaspa per day. Your ROI is going to increase exponentially as well. Now, the big point is, what happens if bull run comes? If bull run comes and the entire market goes 3x, then you're probably talking a third for the ROI. You're going to cut your ROI down to 100 days maybe. Do I think the bull run's coming? Yes, I do. But my crystal ball is in the shop getting repaired, so I can't really say when that'll happen or how that'll happen or what that does to the market. We can only speculate, and we can only try to figure out what we should do and the best way to set ourselves up. So yeah, I think we got about covers for the Pro and the hash rate for Kaspa and what's going on in the current market. Let's go ahead and cut over here, and we're going to talk about whether or not you should buy this or any of these Kaspa ASIC miners. Let's go talk about it. All right, so there it is. It's the IceRiver Ks0 Kaspa Pro Edition. Should you buy this? Would I advise you buy this device right now? No, I wouldn't. If I were giving somebody advice and they say, hey, Alter, these are available now, should I go out and buy them? I would say probably not. I would advise against buying at least these lower end models specifically, and actually probably any of the Ks0 or any of the Kaspa ASICs right now. The ROI isn't there. The price keeps gaining on buying these devices. And if you're buying from other places rather than manufacturer direct, if you're buying from Crypto Miner Bros, which by the way, I have a link down in the description, they take care of procuring the device much quicker. They ship it straight to your door. You won't pay any import duties or fees, but you're gonna pay a lot more than if you're gonna wait the 6+ weeks to get one of these direct from the manufacturer. So over that 6 weeks time, how much Kaspa have you made? How much have you lost? So that's another thing to consider. But again, Would I advise someone to buy an ASIC right now, a Kaspa ASIC? No. No, I wouldn't. If you disagree with me or if you have a different perspective, prove me wrong. Tell me down in the comments why I'm an idiot. Say, Altered, you're an idiot. Here's why you're an idiot. I'll be happy to eat crow, to eat my words. I'll do a recant video if you can prove that that is an idiotic statement for me to advise people not to buy these right now. And yeah, I still have to unbox this one and set it up in a future video. And of course, we're gonna put some T-Swift software on there, and maybe we'll even go over a full setup on overclocking and how to buy these. But for today, I think that about wraps it up. If you're new to mining or you need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. There's always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride.